Today, we are going to be thinking a little bit differently about mindfulness as it relates to business, because we're going to take some tips from supposed narcissists, and hopefully this will be a series, but we're going to start with Steve Jobs. So last week, or the week before, we talked about Steve Jobs and his attitude of mindfulness as it related to Zen Buddhism, which was what he practiced, although he was not very public about it. He was quite the private individual when it came to his personal life. But a lot of the philosophy and teaching that he took from Buddhism, particularly with minimalism, definitely showed up in innovation for him, not just with Apple, Pixar, Next, but in a lot of things. And so I just think that we can go a little bit deeper. And while I did say his life was not perfect and there were some things that he missed, even in the narcissism, there's some things that we can think about. And I'm not at all suggesting that we become narcissists by any means, but it is just something that's interesting. There's an intersection here and some unique lessons that we can take away. Again, not promoting narcissistic behavior, which can be harmful and destructive, but rather about understanding certain traits that can be positively adapted into our businesses. We can talk about the first trait, which is confidence. One way to build your confidence, especially when you are online, is to go to the LinkedIn challenge. That is Tuesday, December 19th. We'll have our final challenge of the year. And if you want healthy confidence, it starts with grounding yourself in your skills and staying open to learning and improvement. And I highly recommend, if you are serious about your business, want to take it to the next level, just by showing up in a particular way and growing your LinkedIn presence. And I've told you already that I believe there is an intersection as well between mindfulness and growing online, because you're essentially stepping outside your comfort zone. And what better way to do it than with Shanae Moret and Shankar Ponsley. So make sure you go to yougrow.club, take you to a landing page. You'll sign up. You'll get all the updates and notifications. And so there's people that say true confidence comes with humility and the ability to learn and grow. So how do we cultivate this healthy confidence? It starts with grounding yourself in your skills and your accomplishments. And that is something that I'm not sure why we become shy when we talk about our services and the things that we're really good at, but people need to know about it, and you have to remind yourself about it so that you can tell other people. And narcissists don't have any trouble with that. They have this art of persuasion. They often have this charismatic charm that they use to influence others. In business, persuasion is such a key component. Whether you're pitching, whether you're selling to customers, the ability to convince others is just super important. I personally don't want to go get services from someone who is not confident or who has not expressed their confidence in their services and their skills. Narcissists, again, they understand this very well. They believe in themselves. They'll bet on themselves every single time. If the world is going to go crash and burn, or you have to trust them, they will say, trust me, and I will save you from the crash and the burn. There's so much to gain from that. There's so much to understand about building your confidence and even refining your persuasive skills, because sometimes you have to learn how to enhance your ability to communicate your business value. And it's about creating genuine connections and understanding your audience's needs. And you have to really focus on active and empathetic listening in your conversations if you are going to not be a narcissist and you're going to be true and genuine in your empathy and feeling for other people. We should have started with what even a narcissist is. They have this inflated sense of self-importance and entitlement, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and honestly a lack of empathy for other people. And interestingly enough, this condition is rooted in a fragile self-esteem. And it's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. It's probably part of the reason why you'll see a lot of narcissists are perfectionists, like Steve Jobs. And actually, I'll play a clip so that you know what I mean. But narcissists present themselves in a grandiose manner, often exaggerating achievements and talents. So that's the difference between you and a narcissist. You're not going to, you can embellish, and you can, in a sense that it's a fine line. It's a fine line. They may seem self-confident, but their self-aggrandizement is often a mask for a delicate self-esteem. Now, it's important to note this is a personality disorder. A more severe form of this trait is it's an actual mental health condition. But as we will note with a lot of artists and brilliant people out there, they often suffer with conditions. So anyway, I am not a therapist or psychologist or going to go into the weeds of this condition. I just really want us to focus on what we can take from them, how we can learn from them. And so let me start, like I said, with playing this clip.
It's funny, the group of people that do not use quality in their marketing are the Japanese. You never see them using quality in their marketing. It's only the American companies that do. And yet, if you ask people on the street which products have the best reputation for quality, they will tell you the Japanese products. Now, why is that? How could that be? The answer is because customers don't form their opinions on quality from marketing. They don't form their opinions on quality from who won the Deming Award or who won the Baldrige Award. They form their opinions on quality from their own experience with the products or the services. And one can spend enormous amounts of money on quality. One can win every quality award there is, and yet if your products don't live up to it, customers will not keep that opinion for long in their minds. And so I think where we have to start is with our products and our services, not with our marketing department. And we need to get back to the basics and go improve our products and services. Now again, quality isn't just the product or the service, it's having the right product. Knowing where the market's going and having the most innovative products is just as much a part of quality as the quality of the construction of the product when you have it. And I think what we're seeing is the quality leaders of today have integrated that quality technology well beyond their manufacturing, now going well into their sales and marketing and out as far as they can to touch the customer, and trying to create super efficient processes back from the customer all the way through to the delivery of the end product, so that they can have the most innovative products, understand the customer needs fastest, et cetera, et cetera. In most companies, if you're new and you ask, why is it done this way? The answer is, because that's the way we do it here, or because that's the way it's always been done. And in my opinion, the largest contribution of much of this quality thinking is to approach these ways of doing things, these processes, scientifically, where there is a theory behind why we do them. There is a description of what we do, and most importantly, there is an opportunity to always question what we do. And this is a radically different approach to business processes than the traditional one, because it's always done this way. And that single shift is everything, in my opinion, because in that shift is a tremendous optimistic point of view about the people that work in a company. It says these people are very smart. They're not pawns. They're very smart. And if given the opportunity to change and improve, they will. They will improve the processes if there's a mechanism for it. And that optimistic humanism I find very appealing. And I think we have countless examples that it works.
So what I find to be very interesting about Steve Jobs talking about quality is we have an insight into his perfectionistic nature and how it shaped Apple products. And what this clip is highlighting is his relentless pursuit of perfection and its impact on innovation. Now, mind you, in terms of growth, the market value for Apple grew from about $5 billion in 2000 to $350 billion at his death, and that was 2011. And so this was a garage startup to a leading tech giant. And now the market value as of 2020, do you know what it is? $2 trillion. $2 trillion. So I think there is something to gain from thinking about what we can learn from people who have this pursuit of perfection at all costs, and how we can learn about charisma and culture, and what parallels can we draw. Like, moderate levels of narcissism can be beneficial in leadership. So this was, again, not my idea to connect the dots, but I'm so glad. I'll just shout her out. Thank you, Shanae, if she's still here, to be thinking about these things, right? CEOs with narcissistic traits are often more innovative and take more strategic risks. And there's lots of data to support that. I think looking at Steve Jobs' company as a case study, you think about the iPhone, that sold over 1.5 billion units since its launch in 2007. And think about all of the keynote speeches that Steve Jobs gave in terms of his persuasion and his charismatic presentation style. We are still studying his speaking today in Toastmasters and other speaking organizations. But there's a level of narcissism that slips into all of these things. Even in his commencement speech, which we listened to a week or so ago, in 2005, you can see his self-assuredness and his visionary approach, but it goes beyond just making the speeches. This is playing out in the products, right? And I think we can mindfully adopt some of his traits, the positive traits, the vision, the resilience, and still be wary of the pitfalls of an excessive ego. And so how can we do that? How can we do that? Again, part of this is there is an actual condition linked to narcissism, and possessing the traits is really about being mindful and how you engage with the world and how you think about doing your business. How do you want to do your business? Show of hearts or thumbs if you agree. So I'm going to go to the launch of the iPhone in 2007. And there's some subtle digs here that aren't so subtle at all. He was really good at that. He made a jab at Microsoft once and I think in his commencement speech here in the iPhone launch, you cannot see this as an audio, but in his presentation, he has a lineup of all the BlackBerries at the time, which was also very interesting because to go into that arena, you have to believe you can crush your competition. And at that time, BlackBerry was the leading competition, and it was the same target audience as well, this elite executive suite sort of target market. And they came in and they crushed. And today it's known as, you should actually watch the movie if you haven't. Shankar, is it called BlackBerry? What is the name of that movie that we watched? It was so good. Okay, Shankar is busy, but Oh, there you are. Hang on one moment.
Blackberry.
What is it? I'm sorry.
I think it was Blackberry, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it was a good movie, wasn't it? Very insightful.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
So we're going to play this clip now where he did the Macworld keynote in 2007 when he first introduced the iPhone. And it's a prime example of his charismatic, persuasive skills.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years. Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. And Apple has been, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the whole computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry. Today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. Three things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. And here it is. No. Actually, here it is, but we're going to leave it there for now. So, before we get into it,
we don't have the time, but I highly recommend watching the rest of it. It's very interesting, the way that he presents this phone. And of course, you can hear, it's undeniable, the kind of faith that he has. Mind you, this is new. Yes, he did the computer and all of these, and that's no small feat either. But the kind of self-belief that this man had is undeniable, to have that ability to envision and execute these innovative ideas that he had that were laughable. His confidence really did border narcissism, but it played a role. And that self-belief, that self-assuredness, that charisma to influence and inspire, that is something we need to practice in our storytelling techniques and communication, and focusing on authenticity and connecting and communicating in everything that we do on a personal level. Now, that's a really big difference because we need to reinforce self-belief but avoid ego inflation. But that boldness, that complex personality but brilliant leadership that he brought, I really hope we can understand. Having this uncanny belief in your ideas and persevering even when others doubt you, that is entrepreneurship. Cultivating positive self-talk through affirmations, rewiring our mindset. I mean, this man was a visionary and he was captivated by his own future that he created, he aimed to create. And we need space for imagination. We need to make time for mindfulness practices. Remember, this was a Zen Buddhist here. So visualize the ideal scenario you work to manifest. Envision customers benefiting from your innovation in 5 years. Something that Steve was really good at, Steve Jobs was good. He was skilled at reality distortion, bending situations to his will through his charisma. And so to inspire his team, he used storytelling. So share your origin story. Share why you ventured into this business. Be authentic. Help others feel the passion. I'm going to tell you, if you go to on December 19th, Tuesday, December 19th, 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, if you go to the LinkedIn Grow Challenge with Shanae and Shankar, you'll understand how story building builds the customer connection, and you'll understand how to craft compelling narratives about the problems that you solve, but you'll be honest about it and you will inspire with honesty. So self-confidence propels progress, unchecked ego causes a downfall. Do we agree? Are we on the same page? Is there anything you'd like to add, Shankar, before I go into our affirmations?
It's a very interesting topic you have this morning, and this healthy part of narcissism, this very advanced level of confidence in oneself, that is something that we definitely all need to learn a little bit, and I know for sure I had to. And you are so right about the fact that it's just you have several phases in your journey as a business person, as an entrepreneur, where you just need to have that very excessive confidence and that you believe that you can knock the competition down sometimes. And that is something that as you progress in your journey and you get more advanced and you have more established people to compete with, this healthy part of narcissism is something you have to nurture within yourself daily. If not all the time, you have to represent it, you have to make your decisions according to it. And it is truly something that is, for some of us who are maybe more humble natured, is not easy. And I think it has to do with how some of us are brought up, where we are taught that it's not good to be arrogant and too forceful on our decisions and perceptions. And that probably also depends on who we are. Are we a woman? Are we a man? Did we belong
Good point.
to the upper class or middle class or all of those things? I think by attending your rooms every morning, there's a very natural, healthy way of building up the healthy part of narcissistic traits that we all really need in our business endeavors.
Thank you so much, Shankar. I have to say what I love and what I see, something that Steve Jobs does, which is you. He saw possibilities where others saw obstacles. And his vision was really unparalleled in that way, like what he could do with technology and all of that. But I see you in people, also in belief in yourself. It's funny because you're so gentle and so kind, but you're a little bit, I can't say arrogant, right? Not arrogant, but I will tell the crowd once more. There was a time when we were dating. I was looking in the mirror and and he said, "Oh, looks good." And I said, "Thank you." And he was like, "I was talking about myself." Shankar has really good, and meeting your mother as well, obviously. You had an incredible upbringing with a single mother who knew what she was raising, for sure. But we have to shape ourselves, like you said, every day. So let's do it. Take a few deep breaths. Gonna let you go. It's already 7:30. And repeat after me. I am confident in myself and my vision. My ideas have value and purpose. I am bold. I am resilient. I persevere through challenges that arise. Where others see barriers and obstacles, I see possibilities. I am capable. I am innovative. But I am also a learner, always open to new ideas. I believe in myself. I believe the universe has the best in mind and that everything is conspiring together for my good. Another breath. Exhale self-doubt. Inhale confidence in yourself, energy and belief. And as you bring yourself back to this present moment, go take a walk outside. And as the rays hit you, the sunshine and everything, every time the rays hit you, remember, as surely as the sun rises, I will succeed in everything I set my mind to. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Time. Have a lovely mindful day, and don't forget to sign up for the challenge. It is free, December 19th. See you there. Bye-bye.